to center. Nordberg will play up the left wing wall there. It is now Witten back over the line between the circle, slides it across, shot, and scores! Reid Varkonyi throw out the hats, the hat trick. He scores as he tucks it under the crossbar, and the Stampede their fourth.
Hey everyone, Ryan Sykes here. Today I'm joined by Sioux Falls Stampede forward Reid Varkonyi. Reid is a 5'10", 185-pound center from Sherwood Park, Alberta, committed to the University of Denver. 19-year-old has scored 18 goals, 49 points in 58 games in his first season in the USHL. Following his tally to his first USHL hat trick on Saturday, Varkonyi was named USHL Forward of the Week. It's my honor to introduce my guest today, Reid Varkonyi. Reid, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, thanks. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
How are you doing?
absolutely. Absolutely. Good, good. First of all, congratulations on USHL Forward of the Week. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Do any of the boys do anything for you guys when you walk into practice?
No, not really. I mean, like we've had quite a few guys win it throughout the year, so it's something that's definitely celebrated on our team, our coach especially. Thinks that's important to have both team awards and individual awards too. So it's been great.
And you're able to share it with Philip Nordberg this week too.
Yeah, and he's actually my I live with him. He's my billet brother, so yeah, it was a pretty cool week for us, especially in the house. So um,
Okay. How do you guys find out about that? Like when the public does, or you get advance notice?
no, I mean I found out we were actually at workout and a bunch of guys said like, oh, like let's go Fort of the Week when it came out on Instagram. So we found out at the
Oh,
same time.
okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Obviously it's your first season in the USHL. How would you kind of assess how it's gone for you?
I think it's been really good so far. I think the first half maybe was a little bit of a learning curve, especially coming into a new place, new town, new billets and everything. Um, but I mean, the second half's been really good for us. Obviously, we have a great team this year, so that makes everything a lot more fun too. It makes having success a little bit easier. But so far, it's been great. I've loved it here, and just really excited for playoffs now.
And maybe for some of those who aren't familiar with your game, how would you kind of describe yourself as a hockey player?
Um, I've always described myself as a 200-foot centerman. I could play both ends of the ice. Um, I'm good on the kill too. Like I think I'm a player that's valuable in all situations. Um, on the power play too. And I mean, I bring a lot of responsibility to my game defensively, but I also like to try and chip in offensively too and help the team produce.
And has that been a challenge for you to kind of, obviously a center, they have to be strong in their own zone. But how have you been able to kind of manage, what you need to do in your defensive zone while also trying to do what you want to do offensively?
Yeah, yeah, I think that was a big challenge for me, especially the last couple of years. Worrying maybe a little bit too much about defense and making that kind of like the focus of my game. But I think this year I've kind of been able to take a few more risks, I'd say. Play not reckless, but just like a little bit more on the edge of trying to push that offense. And I think the biggest thing has just been our coach. He's been super supportive of it. He wants us to score. Just lets us go out there and play. So that's been huge this year for sure.
And it seems like in the second half that things have kind of really clicked for you. Obviously, you had 13 goals, 13 of your 18 goals have come in the second half. Is that just more of like a confidence thing, an acclimation to the league, or what's really kind of working for you right now?
Yeah, I think definitely getting used to it the second half helped for sure. And I think just a little bit more stability with like line combinations and stuff too. I've got the chance to play some really good players and kind of had the same line for um, 2 months there. So I mean that helps a lot. And then also I think just like growing my game, confidence in myself, realizing I can do it. And I think once you start finding a little bit of success, you keep building off of it.
And I know you talked a little bit at the top about your kind of defensive responsibilities as a center, but what was kind of your acclimation process coming into the USHL? Obviously you spent the last 2 years in the BCHL. was I mean, the thing that stands out to me about you is your speed a lot. So was the speed of the USHL that big of an adjustment for you?
I didn't find it super big difference in speed. Obviously, I think now that I'm also getting a little bit older too, that probably helps and have a couple seasons to mature a bit and get stronger. But it is I find it faster, more so like especially when we're talking about defense. Like I find it a little bit hard to defend guys here. Like there's a lot of skill in this league, and like the deception that some guys have and like the speed that they make, or I guess like the quickness of decision making is really fast on the ice. So I think that was the biggest adjustment for me.
Did you kind of have like a welcome to the U show moment like early on? Like, oh man, this guy just blew right past me.
Uh no, not really. I think maybe like the one that stands out to me is when we were playing Youngstown. I mean, this was only like I think it was about a month ago, but it was like the first shift of the game, and Adam Bannock came in,
Mhm.
and he's super skilled, but he just like picked the puck up behind the net, and just went for a Michigan and like hit the post. And I was like, oh my god, like that was crazy. I'd never seen anything like that.
Yeah,
Um,
he's nuts.
yeah, he's good. He's a good player.
I guess as part of your acclimation process, was there somebody that you can recall that maybe took you under their wing when you first arrived in Sioux Falls?
Um, I honestly think it was just like a lot of the guys that were here kind of like the year before. Um, It was a little bit of a different situation though, because like we had a new coaching staff, so no one really knew what to expect. Um, and I think like I also had 2 years of junior experience too, so I kind of wanted to try and be one of the guys that people looked up to a little bit, and took some of the younger guys under my wing, and just tried to lead by example, I think. But yeah, no, we got a great group of guys, and everyone's helped me so far this year.
I think that's kind of translated on the ice, not only with your point production, but you wear a letter now too. You know, what does serving in a leadership role kind of mean for you? And it's your first year in the league, as we've already mentioned.
Yeah, no, it's a huge honor. I was really proud when I was able to get that halfway through the year. And I think it's just for me, like my leadership. I'm not the loudest guy in the room, but I think just working hard every single day at practice, especially, and then during the games too, just doing the right things, playing the game the right way, and just trying to lead some of the younger guys too by example. Um, and just try my best. Honestly, just work hard, have a good attitude too. Just be supportive of guys and stay positive. I think it goes a long way.
And you mentioned consistency with the line mates. You know, it looks like you and Ethan Wittenbach have really kind of developed a connection. What's it been like playing with them?
Yeah, no, he's really good. He's probably one of the best players that I've played with. And also, I also got to play with Noah Ernest for a long time this year, and both of them are really good players, super skilled, especially Wittenbach. He's always trying to do crazy things with the puck, and it's like he's just so smart though on the ice. It's like if I just get open, he always seems to find me. But yeah, no, just two really good players that I've been lucky to have the chance to play with.
Obviously, Ethan's committed to Quinnipiac. Have you kind of like chirped in his ear about flipping to Denver?
A little bit. I don't know. I'm sure they really want him, so I'm
Yeah.
just gonna leave it at
Uh,
that.
yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah, obviously, as we said before, he spent 2 years in the BCHL. You kind of saw like that growth from year one to year two, just in your point production. But where did you kind of feel that you developed the most, just in your time up there?
I think for me, the biggest development is, I mean, the playoffs, I would say. Like probably that first year, my 16-year-old year, the playoffs there. I struggled a little bit in the regular season, but then playoffs came around and I got a good opportunity to play with some good players, play a little bit more. And I thought I took advantage of that. Definitely learned a lot. Learned what it's like to play in important games too. And just kind of matured my game. Um, so yeah, I mean, it was tons of fun too playing in the playoffs. It's best of seven every series in the BCHL, so it's a bit of a grind, but I think that was for me a super important stage.
And obviously, you played with JJ Montero last year in Salmon Arm. How pumped were you when Sioux Falls made the trade to get him?
Yeah, I was fired up. He's one of my best friends. We spent a lot of time together last year, and going through the whole year. So I mean, it was pretty awesome when he got traded here, um, to have a good buddy on the team, but also a great player. He's been huge for our team down the stretch here. So, yeah, no, I was pumped.
Yeah, I saw his goal, and I think it was Saturday night from the left dot. I was like, holy cow, that was nuts.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah. He's a great player. Good guy too.
Um, when you were in the BCHL, you were able to get your collegiate commitment out of the way. Congratulations, you're committed to Denver, and I wore the shirt for you today.
Oh,
But
awesome. Love it.
um, how did that kind of come together for you? Just walk me through how the commitment went through, what maybe some other schools that you were looking at as well.
Yeah, so my situation was a little bit different. So I was born in January, so I was enrolled in school a year early. Meaning like, so technically I would have been like with the '05 class almost. So I was
Yeah,
eligible to talk to schools at the same time that the '05s were. So I actually ended up committing before it would have been my last year U18 in the spring, so like April, before my 16-year-old year in the BCHL. Um, and it was kind of a different situation because I don't think a lot of programs knew. But yeah, it just Denver reached out to me and I kind of knew right away. That was where I wanted to go. Like you just look
yeah,
at the history and the players that they develop. I think it was just the perfect spot for me. Um, and yeah, the amount of and I think like the biggest thing for me was the coaching staff. When you look at David Carl and Tavis
yeah.
and Dallas Ferguson, the guys that they have there. Are just amazing and they always seem to win. I think the culture's a huge part of that too. And just going somewhere where, you're going to develop, but also have a chance at being a national champion every year, I think was a no-brainer for me.
Were you able to get out there and visit the campus?
Yeah, I did a visit before I committed, and I mean the facilities and everything too kind of matched. Everything else that goes on there is top notch, especially the room. I loved it, and just seeing like the rink and everything, and the history and stuff inside the rink, it was unreal.
It's kind of interesting. Denver seemed to go into Canada, and I mean, via the USHL, but find these kids. Obviously yourself, Carter King, Matt Davis, all these kids that seem to just develop really, really well, as you mentioned too, and like they seem to do a really good job of just going into Canada and getting these kids.
Yeah, I think there's like strong connections to Canada. Like I think especially in Alberta. I've like growing up, I remember like watching the Crusaders, which is in Sherwood Park, and they had guys like Carter Savoy and Mike Benning. So I think like
Yeah,
just like seeing that too was like always something like Denver was honestly probably the first school that I heard of. Um, and then just seeing like the success that guys have when they go down there was pretty cool for me too. But yeah, no, it's super awesome.
and you've been able to spend the entire year with fellow Denver commit Sam Spihar. Done a couple of interviews with him, and really good kid. I started following him when he was at Five Nations, and then caught up with him I think he spent 11 games with Muskegon at the end of last year, and then was traded to Sioux Falls. But what's kind of you've been able to kind of develop a connection with him as well. And I know he's been injured a little bit here and there, but what's that mean for you to kind of develop that connection early so you guys can maybe more or less hit the ground running when you get to Denver?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's huge, especially just knowing guys before you get onto campus, and kind of having some connections definitely makes it easier. Um, but no, he's a great kid. He's super nice. He's always positive, always in a good mood. And he's a great player too. Super speedy, skilled, um, and he knows how to score too. So um, yeah, he's a great kid, and I'm excited to be going to school with him for sure.
Super high motor on Sam, I tell you.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah, he's
Like
always he's always
yourself
buzzing
too, just
around.
always working.
Yeah.
Have you been able to catch any of the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, I watched the regionals. I was able to catch a little bit. especially against BC. We had
Yeah,
the day off, so I got to watch that
okay.
game, which was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a nail biter.
I know. I know, yeah,
Uh,
it's awesome. They always just seem to find a way to hold on though, just survive. It's pretty cool to see. Um, but yeah, no, I love watching them. It's fun hockey to watch for sure.
I was at the NCHC Frozen Face-Off for the tournament there, and obviously Western Michigan came back and won that game in double overtime. But you know when they had this in the BC game when they had the offsides and it overturned, I think it was Salmonen's goal. You know, I was like, oh boy, here we go again.
Yeah, yeah,
But you know,
that's
David Crow's
cool.
so good at settling down the bench in those moments.
Yeah,
So
he's always so calm. It's impressive.
he
To me,
is,
that's the
he is.
biggest thing. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I can ask you the question, but you have any predictions for the Frozen Four?
Oh, well, I got Denver all the
Yeah,
way.
there you go. There you
Um,
go.
yeah, yeah. I
You,
think back to back would be pretty awesome.
yeah, it would in 3 out of the last 4 years, I believe.
Yeah.
Um, is the plan for you to go into Denver next year?
Yeah, as of right now, I mean, we haven't fully talked about it. I know they're still playing right now, so you never really know until the season's over and see kind of who leaves and stuff like that. But I think for now the plan is for me to go in next year.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause it's always an interesting time of year to ask that question, and it seems to change daily. You know, I recall just even last year, Hagen Burrows was in Sioux City Musketeer development camp, ready for year two in the USHL, and then Denver took him when I forgot who turned pro at like last minute, but maybe it was Tristan Burrows or something like that. But they took him. It's a fluid situation.
I know, yeah, it's crazy. So much can change. And I guess now, especially with the portal too, like you never know what
Yes.
can happen. So it's crazy times.
In terms of the draft process, obviously you got a couple months away still from that, but what's been like the interest from teams in terms of you and speaking with you and pre-draft interviews and all that sort of thing?
Well, to be honest, this year I mean, like I haven't really had much contact with any teams at all. Um, I know last year was, I guess, my first year of eligibility.
Mhm.
Um, and I mean, last year I had talked to a couple teams, but nothing too crazy. But this year I haven't, I mean, to be honest, I haven't really talked to any teams at all. For me, it's just been more so just trying to focus on what I'm doing, and just try and be consistent, keep working hard. But I think it's been good for me also to just kind of not have to worry about other things, like the draft and stuff like that, and just
Mhm.
being able to play, have fun, and really just enjoy my time here.
And I don't know, maybe it piggybacks off that answer there, but do you get any motivation from being left off like the central scouting draft rankings or anything like that?
I mean, yeah, a little bit. I mean, obviously, I'm sure everyone sees it, um, and I mean, everyone's always talking about it, especially at this level. But I think for me, obviously, you do get a little bit, maybe upset, um, when you know you're not on that, or maybe you're overlooked. But I think for me, the biggest thing is just trying to turn that into a positive, use it to try and fuel me, to work even harder, to do even better. So I think just trying to use as motivation is the biggest thing.
We can close with this question, and Reed, I do appreciate your time today, but what's the vibe in the room? How's the herd feeling about going into the playoffs?
We're super pumped. I think we've been waiting for this all year. Obviously, we've had a pretty successful regular season so far. Um, some ups and downs along the way, but I think it's all preparing us for this. So we got one more weekend here, and then we're gearing up, and I think we're confident. We have belief in ourselves. We have a great culture in our room, and I think we're just all super excited to finally get after it here, and try and win the Clark Cup.
Stampede can score some goals for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Saturday was a prime example of that. It was a microcosm of the season, but you know, I know you guys went 3-3 against Lincoln during the regular season. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it could be a crash course in the Western Conference Final. I'm going to call my shot now.
Yeah, yeah, no. Yeah, it's exciting. You never know though what can kind of go on. So that's the exciting part. But I think we're prepared. We'll keep preparing over the next couple weeks and just focus on what we can do to try and go all the way here.
Great. Yeah, but yeah, Reed, thanks for your time today. This was super fun for me. I hope it was fun for you as well. So
Yeah, for sure. No, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
absolutely. Thanks. Have a good night, Reed.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
Okay, bye.